All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. It is August 18th, 2025. We're talking about the post-op of Zelensky and Trump and the European meeting, all there. So, honestly, a pretty chill news day, really, otherwise. Seems like things are positive, so I'm not going to be super long-winded about all this. We're just going to get right to it. I appreciate you being here. If you are new, please hit the like button and subscribe, share it out, yada, yada, yada. We need all the help we can get, and we appreciate you for helping us out. Possibly consider becoming a member. All that kind of stuff helps keep the lights on and keep doing what we're doing, because we get a lot of heavy flack because we're over the target. So that is that. Thanks so much for being here. Here we go. This is your Crisis Report for August 18th, 2025. Trump deploys 3 Aegis guided missile destroyers near Venezuela to combat drug threats, arriving within 36 hours. The deployment includes P-8 spy planes, warships, and an attack submarine operating in international waters and airspace. Cargo ship has exploded near Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland. Orange shark was caught in Costa Rica that is being hailed as a first-of-its-kind catch. Picture of it out there. It's literally neon orange. It's weird. Trump says that he and the highly respected Ursula von der Leyen have been discussing the massive worldwide problem of missing children, throwing out a little chum to his supporters. Trump confirms he had a good meeting with European leaders, followed by a call with Putin. A meeting between Putin and Zelensky is being arranged, potentially followed by a trilateral with Trump. DOJ will release Epstein files to Capitol Hill, according to James Comer. Have you said thank you once? U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance asked Zelensky in February, berating him for failing to show significant gratitude for the support he has received from Washington. On Monday, Zelensky did 8 times to begin with, according to Reuters. Trump has interrupted the meeting with European leaders to call Putin amid reports. It's a big deal for some people. Ukraine will promise to buy $100 billion of American weapons financed by Europe as part of a deal to obtain U.S. guarantees for its security after a peace settlement with Russia. President Trump on Ukraine-Russia peace deal. He said, I had a very good meeting with distinguished guests, Zelensky, Macron, Stubb, Meloni, Starmer, Merz of Germany, and Ursula von der Leyen and Mark Rutte, all in the White House, ended further meeting in the Oval Office. During the meeting, we discussed security guarantees for Ukraine. Guarantees would be provided by the various European countries, coordination of the United States of America. Everyone was happy with that possibility of peace for Russia and Ukraine. As the conclusion of the meetings, I called President Putin and began the arrangements for a meeting at a location to be determined between Putin and Zelensky. After that meeting takes place, we'll have a trilateral, which would be the 2 presidents plus myself. Again, this is a very good early step for a war that has been going on for almost 4 years. J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Rubio, Special Envoy Wyckoff are coordinating with Russia and Ukraine. Thank you for your attention to that matter. Trump administration is going to require federal reporting of all cash home buys through LLCs and trusts, targeting CCP members and foreign nationals hiding ownership. Number of National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. is about to surge, with several Republican governors planning to send in hundreds more soldiers. And Zelensky says he is ready for a trilateral meeting with Putin and Trump. All European leaders called for NATO-style Article 5 security guarantees for Ukraine. While Trump was meeting with Zelensky inside the Oval Office, Russia launched a barrage of ballistic missiles towards Kramatorsk and Sloviansk in the Donetsk Oblast. Ukraine and European countries are very happy with the outcome of the meeting because, number one, security guarantees, providing Ukraine a fallback measure, which could also mean a fail-safe system. Ukrainian president has agreed to a trilateral meeting with Putin and Trump. Russia, which was saying that it was ready to allow security guarantees for Ukraine till Friday, has now turned back and said they won't allow any Western troops inside Ukraine. The ball has now been passed into Putin's court. If he will agree to have a trilateral meeting, now he contradicts himself by recognizing Zelensky as the legitimate Ukrainian president. As he has always said, the Zelensky is an illegitimate leader of Ukraine. So the big question is, will Putin agree? If Putin backs out from the trilateral meeting, the onus of continuing the war now falls completely on Putin. Well-played diplomacy by United States President Donald Trump. Russia's strategic bear net was then activated. White House does not confirm media reports that Trump interrupted a meeting with Europeans to talk to Putin, according to Fox News. It did happen. Additional Russian strategic bombers are now taking off from Engels Air Base in Russia. Ballistic missiles launched detected from Crimea towards southern Ukraine. 2 Tu-95 MS strategic bombers took off from Engels as well. Despite all of the drama they made, Iran will sit down to negotiate with IAEA again. Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Tehran and the IAEA will begin a new round of talks in the coming days. Russia continues blowing up Azerbaijani infrastructure in Ukraine. Russia blew up the Azerbaijani Sokar-operated gas station in Odessa, Ukraine. Azerbaijani media have confirmed several Russian drones struck the Azerbaijani energy company's site last night. Tracking U.S. Navy carrier strike groups and the amphibious ready groups, Iwo Jima ARG deploying to Southcom, Ford CSG enters the North Sea, Washington CSG, these are carrier strike groups, pulled into Guam, Nimitz carrier strike group operating in the Gulf of Oman, America ARG completes 3-month patrol, Lincoln participating in ex-Northern Edge 25, Vinson is returned home after 9-month deployment, and the Roosevelt and H.W. Bush are active and working up. Iran says Israel could attack it at any moment. Iran warned on Monday that a new conflict with Israel could erupt at any moment, signaling a dramatic escalation in tensions months after a deadly 12-day confrontation in June. Yahya Rahim Safavi, senior military advisor to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, emphasized the need for full preparedness, saying a new war with Israel could break out at any moment. We must be strong and prepared, according to Iranian media. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in June says Russia produces as much ammunition in 3 months as NATO produces in a full year. The Economist says at current rates of procurement, it will take 7 years to bring America's ammunition stock back to where they were before the military aid to Ukraine began. 100% of Thai women working in Israeli agriculture report being sexually assaulted in Israel. That is 654 out of 654. A report by immigration experts Dr. Yachel Kurlander and Dr. Shahar Shaham said the state of Israel has abandoned these women and that filing a complaint could mean losing both job and home. President Donald Trump's administration is considering setting the refugee admissions cap at around 40,000 for the coming year, with the majority of slots designated for white South Africans. Growth demographics and dynamics of the number of Muslim students in European capitals from 2000 to 225 in percentages. Current: Brussels, 52% rise. Amsterdam, 43% rise. Vienna, 41% rise. London, 37.5% rise. Stockholm, 35% rise. Paris, 29% rise. Copenhagen, 28% rise. Berlin, 23% rise. And Madrid, 14.5% rise. UK censorship body, Ofcom, tried to take down Gab.com by restricting the payment processor social media site used, payment processor which was registered and based in the UK. Andrew Torba, the founder, has refused repeatedly to take down posts considered by British authorities as illegal and refused to disclose the private information of British users on the site who may have violated UK's hate speech laws. By restricting the payment processor, Gab's operations could have come to a halt as it could no longer obtain funds paid by its users. Gab went around the ban by creating its own payment processing system and survived the British government's masked attempt at censoring the internet for users worldwide, because Andrew Torba doesn't take any crap. Say what you will about the man. He's created an ecosystem outside of the system. Ukraine has started serial production of its domestically developed long-range cruise missiles named Flamingos. Missile has a warhead weighing 1,000 pounds or 1,000 kilograms and a range exceeding 3,000 kilometers. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called Tuesday for the rapid expansion of the country's nuclear weapons capability, citing ongoing U.S. South Korea military exercises that he said could ignite a war. Israel received Hamas response from the mediators. If Israel is going to accept it, it will be the end of the war with a clear victory for Hamas. Dramatic hours in the Middle East and Washington, D.C. Based on Trump's latest post, Israel is urged to eliminate Hamas quickly as the only way to secure the release of the hostages. Ukraine is urged to give up Donbas and Crimea in order to save the rest of the country. Hold on. Whoosh. I feel much better. Explosion at the Majadichia neighborhood in Tehran. Local sources report that in a 20-story building near the highway, a loud explosion was heard at Sayed Shirazi. Military and security forces immediately took control of the scene. Nearby streets were cleared and civilians were removed from the area with a complete ban on photography or documentation. Might be an assassination or an incident at a security facility. The extent of the damage or the number of casualties is unclear. An official response is expected to be published later. Now, if you remember from yesterday, they didn't have one but two major explosions at like oil centers or whatever. A lot of infrastructure, a lot of damage still going. So I think that's why Iran thinks that this war is just on pause and is going to start to get going again. United States Special Envoy Thomas Barrack says Israel should comply with Lebanon's plan to disarm Hezbollah. And a Statue of Liberty copy, a monument that's draped with the Ukrainian flag, was outside the French embassy in Washington, D.C., obviously showing their support. Friends, we are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. If you're into possibly considering an IRA that is backed by gold and silver that they hold safely, and then when you want it and you're ready to retire, you get those precious metals. Give them a look at the description link. Check them out. Do an informative. If you like it, go for it. And if not, you don't have to. No obligation. We also have other sponsors like OUPES and JASE and PrepperNow. And there's one more I'm forgetting. ITEHIL, the water system. Please consider becoming a member. Becoming a member is a great way to help keep the lights on. It's a couple bucks a month. It's not much. We've had a pretty steady flow of supporters since the beginning. But it also kind of keeps Borg off our backs. Borg has been weird lately. He's been bringing back channels that were taken down. He brought back James Corbett. He brought back high impact vlogs. These are channels I used to watch and like. They just went away. So I don't know what's going on. There seems to be a bit of a positive shift. We don't lay our guard down with Borg, but hopefully things are moving in the right direction. He's picking up what we're putting down. All right, friends, God bless. We will see you tomorrow on the next one. Check out the links. Also, join us on Gab, Minds, Twitter, X, Truth Social. Subscribe to our locals. And, of course, transcript of this is on Substack. Good night.